Hello. So this episode is going to be a bit different because I actually don't have the sound for most of the clips. I have it for one, but it's really low quality. So I'll be talking about what I did for most of this and never really talking in the moment. Just so you know. But let's get right into it. The first thing I wanted to do was get an enchanting set up. So I used some sugar cane that I had lying around and made it into paper, and then made that paper with the leather into book. And something that's interesting is that the crafting recipe is actually shapeless, so you can craft the book in different shapes, as you can see right now. Also, between this episode and last episode, I went fishing quite a bit. So I got a really good fishing rod because when you use it, it repairs itself because of the levels you get. And then I also got some enchanted books and a bow. I then extended my cobblestone platform out so that there was room to put the enchanting table and place down the bookshelves. Then I got all of the materials that I needed to craft the enchanting table. So I got the obsidian and then realized that I did not have enough leather. So then I went to get some wheat so that I could breed the cows and run, little one, run. So now that I had slaughtered one of the cows, I went back with the leather that I had gotten. Don't worry, the baby will grow up. The reason I didn't kill the baby is because then it wouldn't have dropped anything. I then made a bit more paper and made the last book that I need for making the enchanting table. Then I got the rest of the obsidian that I had, but still needed one more. So I took some of the water and lava from my infinite sources and used my diamond pickaxe to mine it. I then crafted the enchanting table. It was pretty exciting on the time, but looking back on it, it's not that big of an achievement. I then went to go get some lapis to start enchanting. I actually have a cool texture pack on so that you see what it says in the enchanting table in English instead of the standard galactic, I think is what it's called. But it can get some pretty funny things like cold undead fid, hot range dark, and range wet fita, which are the three that you see here. But there are also a few others, and they're just kind of funny. I also saw a few that had baguette. Anyways, I then combined the pickaxe, which I enchanted with Unbreaking 1, with a book that I had from fishing that had efficiency 4, and then I finally broke the 2 pieces of obsidian below the nether portal. I then made, I think actually my first pieces of armor, which was some diamond armor, and enchanted it all with protection 1. I accidentally enchanted the leggings with Unbreaking, so then I used the grindstone on them and re-enchanted them. After that, I admired them for a bit. I then used a seed map to find out where the nearest fortress was and started digging a tunnel. It took a while, so I'll spare you most of the recording. Also, I kind of lost it at the end.
I have located another fortress, and on the way there, I found a bastion, which will be useful to loot eventually. But I found another fortress. I did look at a seed map. So there's a tunnel that goes from my base nether portal to here, all the way down there, to the nether fortress. And I've set my respawn point, so I think I'm going to try to find some blazes and try to get their rods.
Then, the first blaze that I killed on one heart dropped a blaze rod, which was pretty lucky, I think. I then explored the Nether Fortress, taking all of the useful loot and nether wart. After that, I killed blazes until I had 6 rods. I then explored the fortress until I got back to the warped forest. When I got to the warped forest, I began killing endermen. Once I was done and had all the pearls, plus an extra blaze rod, I went to my safe room, deposited the bed in a chest, and then died to get back home. There, I crafted the blaze rods into blaze powder, and the ender pearls and the blaze powder into eyes of ender. And then promptly threw them all on the floor. Then, using the seed map that I mentioned earlier, I located the stronghold and calculated where I had to be in the nether to be on top of it. I got the calculation wrong multiple times. Once I was in the correct place, I dug down in a spiral staircase to get to the portal room. I also found a 7 vein of diamonds right in the window of the portal room. Once I got to the portal room, I stored most of my miscellaneous items and went exploring to see what other loot was in the stronghold. When I was exploring, I found a very large library and took down all the books so that I could have a larger enchanting setup back at home. Then, after going back home and getting a good inventory for the end fight, I put the eyes in the portal and went in. When I entered the portal, I came out on a platform that was near the edge of the island, which was really helpful because I didn't need to bridge over or mine out. I then started taking out the end crystals with my bow and died. I then had to run all the way back, which it gives you a sense for how long I have to run each time I go back. I then made sure that my respawn point was actually set and went back. I kept on using my bow to shoot down the crystals, making sure to avoid looking at any endermen. It actually is surprisingly hard. I don't know if I've said that yet. I actually hit the ender dragon once by accident when I was trying to hit the crystals. For the caged ones, I towered up because shooting them wasn't working. It just went through the top of the bars. So I towered up to hit them in the cages. And then I mined back down. I also towered up for some of the other ones, but for example, this one, I just shot them. Also, there were a lot of ender pearls on the ground where I assume the ender dragon perched and then a lot of endermen died. I kept on towering up and and destroying even more end crystals over and over again. Also, I died to endermen a few times. Then, once I was ready, I went to the middle and started hitting the ender dragon. Some people walk away and then wait for it to perch and go in the side, but it didn't actually take too long just doing it from underneath. In the end, I beat the dragon, which was very satisfying because it was actually my first time beating the dragon. I made sure that I had all the XP, and then I jumped in the portal. So I will see you next time.